Hello everybody and welcome to Morzak EV, a channel dedicated to all things electric vehicles, electric vehicle charging and all related technologies. So today we're releasing a couple of videos talking about the changes to the grant scheme coming in March 2022. This video talks about changes to the workplace charging scheme grant from the Office for Zero Emission Vehicles, which relates to commercial properties. If you're more interested in domestic properties, you can click the card above or a link in the description below, which talks about the grants available for having charge points installed in domestic properties. The WCS, or the Workplace Charging Scheme, which is available for commercial properties, is going through some major changes in March 2022. So, the existing grant, which I'll explain now, is sticking around. So that is £350 per socket, up to 40 sockets per company. So that means companies can still claim up to £14,000 towards charge point installations. However, on top of this, there's a whole bunch of additional grants which are coming available to companies. And previously, commercial businesses that weren't eligible for the grants may be eligible after March 2022. So I'll detail that now. So the first major change is that, as well as being open to businesses for staff parking, the grant is now going to be open to small accommodation businesses and charities. So this means it will be available to B&Bs, campsites, guest houses, and it can be used for staff and guests. Previously, other businesses are only allowed to claim the WCS grant for staff and fleet parking. So the main terms and conditions for this is that the B&B, campsite, guest house, the business or charity that's claiming the grant, must be less than 250 employees. So just to make that clear, any business is allowed to claim the WCS for staff and fleet use. However, B&Bs and guest houses and accommodation businesses can claim the grant for guest use if they're under 250 employees. You can pause the video, we'll put some extra T's and C's up. Again, we might be expecting a few more terms and conditions to come out when the grant comes out, but this is really good news for the travel industry in the UK, where they can implement charging infrastructure to encourage people to come who own EVs. Now, as EV owners ourselves, we know when we're going away, that's one of the primary things we look for in terms of staying somewhere where we know we can charge our vehicle overnight. So this is really worth considering. Electric vehicle charging is becoming something similar to what Wi-Fi was like. At first, it was a bit of a novelty having Wi-Fi in your hotel room. It soon became a necessity. Electric vehicle charging will be the same. Another new introduction to the grant is a grant for commercial landlords. So if you are a landlord of a commercial property, you can claim up to £350 per socket to be installed up to 100 sockets per year. So if you own a commercial property and lease it out to businesses, you can install commercial charging infrastructure to encourage those businesses to uptake EVs for their staff and fleets. Again, really good news. There's a lot of commercial properties out there where multiple businesses lease it, and you can install that electric vehicle charging infrastructure and get money towards that charge point installation. Another nice addition is SMEs. So small and medium enterprises will now be eligible for additional funding to implement the charging infrastructure at their businesses. So this additional funding is on top of the £350 per socket and goes as follows. A small and medium enterprise, which needs to be less than 250 employees in the business, can claim up to £15,000 per building and up to 5 grant applications. The grants depend on the number of parking bays, but you can claim an additional £850 extra per socket. This is on top of the £350, so that's £1,200 per socket towards the installation and additional expenses that come with installing electric vehicle charge points. Or you can also claim up to £500 to provision for future EV installation. So that includes underground cabling and the distribution board work that's required to provision for those electric vehicle charge point installations. Again, there's some extra T's and C's. You can pause the video and read those. You need to provision at least 5 bays for future EV charge point installations, and you must install at least 1 charge point. But putting this together, again, there's a lot of funding that's available to get you on the road to electrifying your business and helping out small and medium enterprises in getting on that electric ladder. For electric vehicle charge point installers, the WCS will continue as it is now in the way it's implemented. So businesses will apply for vouchers and then you claim that voucher back and knock the cost off the charge point installation price. So there's no real change there going into March 2022. So in terms of the Workplace Charging Scheme grant, nothing has been taken away, but a lot of things have been added. So if you are in a business that's involved in the travel industry and you're considering getting electric vehicle charge points installed, this grant will be a big help in getting that implemented. Similarly, if you are a small or medium-sized enterprise with less than 250 employees, this grant will be a big help to electrifying your fleet and getting your staff on the electric vehicle ladder. We've got a strong pedigree in installing electric vehicle charge points for businesses. So if you have a business and you're worried that the supply isn't big enough to cater for additional charge points, then don't worry, we have solutions to cater for this. Additionally, if you're worried about the cost of the electric to your business, we have solutions where users can pay through card or through an app, so you can recoup those electricity costs from the charge point users. So whatever your needs are, there's a solution out there for you, and we have the experience and knowledge to guide you on that journey. So I hope that was useful. If it was, give us a cheeky thumbs up on that like button. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications of future videos. Check us out on our social media. And in the meantime, thanks very much for watching.